Hey guys, my name is Rusty and welcome to the Bullet Points podcast. We are here at Scoped Out and joining me, Maxwell from In the Dark.
Mate? How you going?
Good man, how you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Excellent. And Josh.
How are we all?
Captivating attention, Scoped Out, whatever it is you do.
I'll just say both.
Driving Teslas.
Both easier. Driving Teslas. That's the new one.
Yeah.
Top of the list.
Exactly how you're set to make friends. Guys, if you're watching this for the first time, because it's our first episode doing the Bullet Points podcast. But if you've come to us through different means, we are here at Scoped Out because we're connected to Scoped Out. We are also on the Impact Dynamics, or what was the Impact Dynamics channel, that is moving across to Scoped Out. Now, if you're fans of the Impact Dynamics podcast, and that's sort of how you can know myself and Josh and maybe Maxwell has been on.
Popped on a couple of times.
Been on a few episodes.
That is still continuing on, so stay tuned for that. That's not gone. That is, this is an additional podcast to talk about shooting, hunting, outdoors, anything else really.
All of the above
All
and
of the
more.
above. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we kick off 2025. It is mid-January right now, and have you guys done any shooting this year?
I've done a little bit.
You have?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that the only one of us? Because I haven't.
Beating Josh and I.
Beating Josh. Oh, that's a good start to the year for me. Beat a few foxes as well, so
Yep.
that's good.
Even better.
Yeah.
Very good.
So you guys haven't been shooting at all?
Not at all. No, I've done
Not yet.
holidays for a few days and then into work. But we'll see what the year holds.
Yeah.
See what the year holds. What about you, Josh? When's your? Well, you're going to be shooting in a week.
I'm going to be
less
shooting
than
in
a
a week. There is a match coming up on the weekend, on Friday night.
Oh, okay.
And I tossed and turned about whether I should shoot that and then decided maybe not, considering the 5 a.m. flight in the morning. Maybe it's wise to have a little bit of sleep before that, considering I think the match would finish at 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
we'll hold off on that one.
handful of days after that, the reason you've got a 5 o'clock flight is
SHOT Show. So a couple of days after that, instead of just shooting little 22s, it'd be shooting everything that we can't shoot here. It's going to be great.
That's excellent.
Yep. So part of SHOT Show in Vegas is the range day on the Monday, and Josh managed to score himself an invite to it.
It's always nice to get in with your media pass.
Yep, absolutely.
Very nice.
And what are you looking forward to there, Josh? What are you-
I think shooting full auto again. That's always fun.
Just straight up flex.
Just
First
straight up,
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there, and they just go, hey, here you go. Here's the button to flick, and off you go. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. That's the first thing I would probably do.
Yeah.
I think it's the first thing most people would probably do because it's a luxury. Even civvies in America sort of don't have as well. So
I think last time I did the obligatory, just leave it on semi-auto to get a feel for it, and you do one shot, and you go, nah, let's go.
Just ease into it slightly.
Yeah.
Just one round to feel the trigger and then
that's
just
it.
hold it down for the rest.
Pretty much. And then 2 seconds later, you go, that's it.
Perfect.
Just gone. Just gone. Just
Yeah.
spent all that money. Well, I didn't, because you don't have to pay for your ammo at range day.
You don't.
So spend all that someone else's money, but it's
Yeah. I mean, it's pricey to get there, but we'll leave that out.
minor details. But you're not just going for range day. You're going to be there for all the shot show.
Going to be there for all the shot. We
This is your
have
second one.
have a few things lined up already. So
What's
when you
planned?
get to chat, we've got chats with Forster. Going to go check out the Apex Optics. Mm-hmm. Got a media session booked in with them.
Nice.
And Right On.
Okay.
And then anybody else that we can find that's willing to have a chat.
Yep.
See what thermals we've got on display.
Yeah, we could
Shot by the Infrared booth.
Yeah, should be a lot there this year, I think. A lot of new companies and a lot of new products coming out in the thermal sort of market. So it's expanding very quickly.
Have you been watching anything, Maxwell, that Josh needs to go and check out?
I haven't.
That he can come back to us and report on?
Yeah, I haven't been watching too closely, but I think some interesting things should come out at SHOT. But
How very cryptic of you.
Yeah.
It's like said like you know something.
yeah, it's like I know something, but I really don't. But yeah, no, there should be new products, I think. If not, there is already some really cool stuff that's come out recently. The new Pulsar and
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't mind having a look at that. That'd be
Good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but I've heard that there's potentially going to be some sort of like holographic thermal overlays dropping from some people as well this year.
Yeah,
which I believe someone did last time we were there.
They did, yeah.
Just
I think
early
it was
stages.
Holosung from memory had a thermal red dot going, but yeah, some interesting things.
Cool idea.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Very cool idea.
Yeah. See what else is there. Josh, you've been to Vegas once. You were sick.
I was.
The entire week.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to?
Not being sick. That's the starter.
Well, don't get your hopes too high.
I was going to say, have you been like just eating buckets of vitamins every day? Or?
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Basically just have one of them to go over there with on the plane and then one for the next day, and hopefully that kicks it in.
Yeah. Just
Good.
No, keen to get around. I know Apex is dropping some new things.
Okay.
But obviously going to do the Vegas things and go check out the Hoover Dam afterwards and see some shows, do all of that. I think this time round, hopefully pending flights and if we get stuck in LA or not, we'll land Saturday.
True.
But we've got a couple day buffer.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can sort of get in and just have a couple of low key days.
You got any major things sort of locked in that you want to see outside of shooting? Like big shows or anything like that? Nothing sort
Definitely
of
want
locked
to
in?
go back to the ice hockey.
Yeah.
Because that was cool. That was just a wicked experience. I have no interest in ice hockey other than seeing people get belted across the ice.
What else is there?
Yeah, I mean, that's why everyone likes hockey, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
But just, the atmosphere was great.
Yeah.
So
I would be. Those sort of big sporting events are pretty cool. So
yeah.
Americans do those well.
yes,
Yeah. And that-
I have no doubt.
The Golden Knights Arena or whatever the arena, T-Mobile Arena, I think it's called.
That's the
you remember that escalator?
I do.
They had this escalator that was just like
It was
I don't know
massive.
how many stories, but one escalator just went
just-
up.
just kept going all the
kept
way.
on going. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
It was massive. You're on it for a while. Like,
Yeah, right.
take some food. Like,
Yeah.
this is a journey.
It's about as long as the flight to.
You're a changed man when you get off it.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely a packed lunch sort of experience.
Oh wow! Yeah, I'll have to check it out one day, hopefully.
There is you end up with altitude sickness towards the top.
Midway through, you got to pop your ears.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
get the
Do this
oxygen
thing
out.
going on.
Yeah.
Your Sherpas guiding you through the process.
Spot on.
Yeah,
Spot on.
yeah.
So, well, Maxwell, have you got anything as exciting as going to Vegas in the next couple of weeks? Or can you pretend?
Nothing as exciting, but
More exciting then?
More exciting, definitely, for sure. What am I? Yeah, real exciting stuff.
It sounds it.
yeah. Just wait till you hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're putting. So for those who don't know Maxwell yet, In the Dark has been one of your passion projects.
Yep, it is.
Give us
Yeah,
a
definitely.
Quick little breakdown on that.
Quick little breakdown on In the Dark. Basically, just a dedicated hunting forum-ish type of thing. We've got a YouTube, we've got Instagram, we've got Facebook. Willing to chat with anyone, any time about hunting.
Yep.
But mostly focused on the nighttime sort of stuff.
Okay.
Thermal shooting and that sort of stuff.
The
But
name
also,
gives that away, I think.
yeah, I think it does.
Well chosen.
But also, like a lot of hunting, like if you go out early in the morning, you start in the dark, and a lot of the times if you go out late afternoon and shoot a deer, you're working well into the night to break it down. So I do a lot of daytime hunting as well. So yeah, there's that, and then we've got the Foxtastic weekend.
Yep.
Which is our
what you're spending your time on now.
Yeah,
That's what the next 2 weeks work is.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at now. Is just knuckling down on getting everything ready for that in March.
What's the 30-second teaser on the Foxtastic weekend?
Fox shooting and win cool stuff. This year we're also going to have a pig side of it, so most pigs and a best buck competition.
Gotcha.
But basically, fox hunting on your own property and submit your results. And if you shoot a feral animal, you win a prize. Could win a prize, I should say. Could win
I
a
was about to
prize.
say, I'm going out there.
Yeah. Go and get out there. You never know. The odds are pretty good. Last year we had 50 entrants. I'm sort of the goal for this year is I'd like to get to at least 80.
And that's teams, isn't it? You've got multiple
teams, yeah. So
people in. You had 50 people?
I had 50 people
Gotcha.
over.
But they
I think,
register it?
Yeah, register in a team of you can either be 1, 2, 3 or 4 people.
Okay.
So yeah, should be a big year. Hopefully, we've got some big announcements to make soon. I hope.
Excellent.
Yes,
Lots of things going on.
lots of things going on. Yeah,
Nice,
keeping
man.
me busy. So
That's good.
yep.
That's good. And I haven't got anything exciting to report. I'm going to just be sitting there being jealous while Josh is away in Vegas at SHOT.
I'll send you all the footage.
You and me both.
You're welcome.
First one I've missed in 4 or 5 years or something. It's I'll be sitting there going, yeah.
It'll feel like it's going to be the best one too, not going.
Nah.
Nah.
No, do you know that
you reckon you've been to the best one already?
The best one I went to was, so they 2021 they didn't run it because of COVID.
Yeah.
Because no one could travel anywhere really. 2022 they ran it, and it was like my flight over there, like I had a whole row to myself, right? The plane had about a third amount of people on it.
Yep.
Until we got to the stateside, and then it was all packed. But and the amount of people at the show was probably about 30% down, 30 to 40% down. Exhibitors was probably about 20% down as well. But what it meant is you could get pretty much in front of anyone because no one was packed out with bookings as it usually is. And so, you know, so many of the people that are flat out all week, you actually just
there was actually time to talk and
to
chat
and be
to people.
like, hey, this is what I'm doing, and like what you're doing. And it was actually it was really approachable, and there's lots of open space because there's lots of exhibitors that didn't end up going, which is obviously disappointing. And Vegas is a little bit quieter as well.
Yeah,
so
that does sound good.
I'm
liking all the options here.
It was I reckon. So I reckon that's the best year that I've been, and from a business point of view, you got the most deals done then because you actually had time to talk to people.
You could talk to people.
Otherwise,
for sure.
you're on a limited time window normally.
So
everybody's got things to do. Everybody's got places to be.
Yeah.
Running on a schedule of
all the people you want to meet with are booked from 8 in the morning till midnight.
Yeah.
So that's but it was good, but I'm going to be missing out this year, which I'm sad about, but also it's good for some good personal reasons as well. So go let Josh enjoy it and rip the town apart.
Yeah, and hopefully not get sick. That's my goal. My only goal so far.
Don't get sick.
Yeah.
That's a good
good goal.
Yeah, nice, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of goals, I've got a goal of eradicating some rats at home. Well, I think they're rats. They could be possums.
Rats or possums? Well, you can't eradicate possums. You could trap them.
Trap them, yes.
Trap them and relocate them within.
We eradicate them from my place is what I fundamentally want to do.
Fundamentally, yeah.
I think they're rats, though, because they've been rats previously.
Yep.
And they sound the same as they were many years ago.
Your odds are probably pretty high for that one.
Yeah. So I've got some traps. I went to Bunnings to go buy some traps and then remembered, hang on a sec, and I rang my wife and said, hey, can you lock up in the roof? I think I've left the traps in the roof. She's like, do you really, do I have to do this? I'm like, yeah, go do it. Yeah. So she's, poked her head up and is like, I see something mesh up there. I'm like, cool, that's enough. All right, because I was trying to work out where my traps were. Yeah. In the roof.
Perfect, yeah.
But I think they've aged a little bit because I set them up a couple of times to try and get these rats. What would you use for rat bait if they were rats?
I don't know, peanut butter or...
Yeah.
I feel like peanut butter is the go-to.
Yep.
That's what everyone's used since I can...
Since peanut butter was invented.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's why it was invented,
rat food, rat bait, perfect. Yeah.
Rat bait.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to trap them.
Yeah.
I don't want them to die up there and stink the place out for a while. So, I did that. And they kept getting it without
setting the trap off.
Setting the trap off. And then I went the other way.
Rats.
And then the traps were going off as I'm climbing down the ladder.
I can see where that problem lies.
Yeah, that's not ideal. So just teasing them with food in a cage. You'll never get this.
And so I'm thinking about throwing in because one, I don't know what it is. I think it's rats.
Yeah.
And two, I don't know if when I do set up, whether they're stepping on the thing, whether they're going into the side, or whatever
where they're.
So
or if it's a possum and it's just climbing in there and then just wiggling its way back out because it's too big for the trap.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big trap.
Oh, it's a pretty big trap?
Yeah, I've got two. So one's this sort of size.
Okay, yeah, so possum-sized trap.
And then one's this sort of size. So
how thick is the mesh, just out of curiosity?
How thick is it?
Yeah,
It's wire. It's not mesh really, but...
The mesh size is determined by the number of openings per inch of screen.
Siri's chiming in.
Siri is helping us out with how thick the mesh is.
Yeah, he's explaining
That's
how
not
we
mine,
can.
that's yours.
Is it really? Oh, there you go.
Look at Google go.
Well done, Google. Finally did something.
And perfect timing for it, interrupting everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm thinking of putting trail cameras up.
Oh, yeah.
Or a
Perfect.
trail camera up to see what it is. You've used plenty of trail
Yep,
cameras.
I sure have. I
Any-
put some out the other week.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
What was that for?
Getting ready for deer rut in March, so
Okay.
getting cameras out early and seeing what's travelling about, and hopefully a couple of big ones there. I need to get Joe a nice deer, and
Okay.
I wouldn't mind getting another one. It's been a couple of years since I shot one, so
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your, what do you do with your cameras? Like, where do you choose to place them? What are you looking for?
personally, I like to pick travel routes. So I'll find an area where there's a lot of trails intersecting into one area, and I'll try to aim to have my cameras there.
Okay.
That way you sort of tee down. They will take multiple routes, but
Yep.
if you can sort of narrow down one spot that they're always travelling through, you got a higher chance of getting all the traffic. Yeah,
Your results.
maximise results. So,
Yep.
I got 3 cameras out in. 2 are in one gully, and then one's over the hill in another gully. So we'll see how they go.
And what do you Obviously, you're looking for photos and evidence that they're there, but what
I know they're there.
What are you aiming to gain from putting cameras out? Like, what does that teach you?
Basically just seeing what time of day they're moving through, that sort of thing. Also just judging size on bucks and seeing if there's any culls that I need to go out and take out. So if there's any deer that's growing weird antlers or they're too short and missing tines, that sort of thing, I'll go in with the thermals and try and track them down at night. It's probably the easiest way. And
Yeah, right. And why is that, to take them out of the population?
take them out of the genetic pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try and keep the big ones growing and breeding, and get rid of the ones that are not going to breed big bucks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So long-term project, but shot a fair few culls on that place already, and I've shot a pretty big buck on there as well. So
And I guess you take the meat when you cull them, and
take the meat out.
And then you sort of build up some trophy sort of variants.
Skins and stuff like that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Nice, mate. And when do you plan to have? Obviously, you said you're trying to sort of build a population that's got like amazing
good genetics,
good racks and genetics and stuff like that. Is that like 5 years, 10 years? How long does this sort of like?
As long as I have access to the property, it'll be a small little project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be like you won't go out in a week or in the rut and try and get a trophy this year, or you will?
I will. That's the main point of having the cameras out, is I'll see if there's anything moving through the area that's trophy worth, and then we can sort of look to target that animal, see when he's moving through the area and that sort of thing.
And they're pretty habitual in that?
Yeah, they can be. Generally, especially in areas, these gullies are pretty small. And they sort of don't move outside of the gullies.
Okay.
So if you can pick what time, if they're coming into the dam every day at 6 o'clock for a drink,
Right.
you get your time frame.
Yeah, get time frame and be like, okay, we need to be there at 4 o'clock and sit down and wait and see if he comes through. And you might do that 10 times before he comes through.
Is this something you're doing before every rut? Sort of every year of just go out, scout out, see what
try
the game plan is?
When I shot my big buck, funnily enough, I can't remember what happened, I think I was in Tasmania at the time, and I'd sort of missed the rut and got busy, and I went out late May, sort of after the rut had ended, just to go in and check my cameras and see what was there. And always take a rifle with you when you go to check your cameras.
It is a lesson,
It's a good lesson to have. Never go anywhere without a rifle. Maybe the shopping centre or something like that. You can leave
Maybe
it
that's
at
a bit
home.
general.
I'll see how that goes when I go to the airport.
Yeah. You've done that before.
Close.
Close.
Those rifles were filled with alcohol instead,
Yes.
though.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
That was quite funny. We'll talk about that later, I'm sure.
No, let's talk about it now, Josh. Interesting. You learn from your last experiences with the
did.
AFP, but you this shot Expo in October. Josh,
If you are traveling with anything that remotely resembles a firearm, maybe just let them know and be like, hey, this isn't a firearm. Yes, I got some firearm themed bottles of alcohol, AK-47 and a pistol. Thought nothing of it.
Yep.
Chuck it in the suitcase, it'll be fine. Until I was editing a video and Jetstar called me up and go, yeah, you need to come back because the police are on their way. I'm like, it just instantly clicked off. I know what it is.
Oh, yeah. Whoops. Should have probably...
Should have said something. And then you get to Jetstar and they're like, what is it? And I was like, I know exactly what. It's this. And they're like, you probably should have told us. And I was like, I think I should have told you now too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all right.
Yes.
2 lovely AFP officers rolled up. One of them had a look at the suitcase. One of them checked out my IDs, saw that I had a firearms license, and we just got talking guns while the lady opened the bag and went, what's this filled with? And I was like, that's vodka. And she's just like, ugh. And I was like, that's all right. That'll get replaced with gin in the future.
Perfect.
And then went about our way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, excellent.
Hopefully smoother entry into the US. For you.
Hopefully.
Yes,
Fingers
hopefully.
crossed. I've got all the documents. Everything's lined up.
Bought new backpacks. No leftover 22 casings in there at all.
Don't use that one for the range. I've made a note of that from some previous people.
Yes.
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah, I
that's
have a
good.
range bag for that stays as a range bag.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And to mingle. Sorry to distract you from
No.
your story about your biggest buck ever.
Not a worry. So went in to check trail cameras. I was walking down through the gully pretty casually, not being quiet at all, and sort of looked over to my left down the gully as I was sort of heading across it, and I was like, that's a deer there. I was like, I'll just pull my binos up, having a look. I'm like, that's a pretty big bloody deer there. So then I sort of dropped my backpack down and sort of got a bit quieter and sort of stalked in and got a bit closer, and I was like, that's a really bloody big deer there.
Yeah.
I got the rifle out and I was like, oh, I left my pack behind. So I had nothing there. I was like, looked around, I'm like, there's a log. So I laid down and used the log as a rest and shot the big buck, and he went down, and now he's on my wall.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that one that you were like aware of was around?
It wasn't, I hadn't,
okay. So all this work and nothing?
all that work, I'd put my cameras out and I'd got busy for the year and things got away
so
from
you
me.
hadn't actually
I hadn't actually actively followed anything up, and then I went and checked the cameras, and sure enough, he'd been travelling up and down that gully a fair bit.
Yep.
So I was like, well, luck of the draw with that one.
What's the tipping point of like deciding to leave this one to sort of keep the population going or taking it? Is there a clear line for that for you?
Not for me as particular. Like, it's sort of if I like it, I'll shoot it. But if I go out and I have a look and I get in on it and it's a good stalk or something like that, I might be like, oh yeah, this was fun. I'll see you again next year maybe.
Yeah, okay.
You see some people and they get like every year they've got photos of the same buck, and they'll like they'll have a set date. They'll be like, by this time, if he's good enough, he's gone. And if not, maybe they'll let someone else shoot him. But there's guys out there who they're just trying to beat what they have, and there's not much point in shooting. They've shot that many that there's no point in shooting another one until there's one bigger.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
I've only shot a couple of fallows, so fallow bucks, but by far the biggest, and I think he's going to take a fair bit to beat. So
Gotcha.
I'll probably just grab some others anyway.
Yeah, okay.
But I want to get Joe a buck as well. He's gotten right into hunting with me now, so
Yep, Joe works
Joe
here.
works
as the
here, yeah.
warehouse
Yep.
stuff. Yep,
Yeah,
runs
so-
all that.
hopefully get him a buck. It'll be good. I think he'd be pretty excited. We went out and got his first doe a little while ago.
Yeah,
so
right. Okay.
last year sometime, I reckon it was. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Ready to take it up to the next level.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get it in the rut and hear him roaring. It gets your heartbeat going, that's for sure.
I've run out of this, but I was going to ask you, gentlemen, speaking of being out hunting and doing that sort of thing. So if you were out, you've been out on property for the day, you come back to the homestead, right, I'm painting the picture here, mate.
Yeah.
This is like audio theatre type thing.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Just close the eyes and just zone in.
Exactly.
listen.
Just zone in, close your eyes, take a big, deep breath, all right? Big breath. Come on, Maxwell. Big breath. There we go. Right. So you pull back up to the homestead, all right? It's dark, it's late, it's cold, you've been out all day hunting. You walk inside, fire's going, right? Somehow that's
It's just going.
the fire's going. You walk in, put everything down, put everything away. You walk up to a bar and you've got anything you want there. What is behind the bar that you're grabbing to go and sit in front of the fire on your camping trip?
Did I shoot a nice buck?
I'm going to say no,
Ooh.
and then I'm going to say yes afterwards. I want to
Okay.
see if your answer changes.
I'm curious why that changes.
Yeah, no,
interesting.
that's an interesting
Well,
point. Okay, so
yeah.
no buck, nothing. You just had a
Nothing
normal day,
seen,
nothing
just
to
a pretty
celebrate.
rough day,
Particularly,
yeah.
just
Okay.
you're out. Typical standard hunting day.
Probably just going to hit the CC and dries.
CC and dries.
Yeah, I
Okay.
reckon just in the can.
Yep. Just in the can.
Just in the can. I'm a simple
Yeah.
drink. Yeah.
Okay. Josh.
I'm chucking a 12-year-old Glenfiddich on the rocks.
Even without a buck.
Even without a buck. Even more so because you haven't got a buck. You pour a double shot.
It's a double.
Yeah.
It's a double.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, for me, if I got on the spirits, then like if I haven't got my buck, I'm going out hard the next day. So
All right,
I'm gonna have my nice light CCs and I'm gonna go to bed.
I mean, you can just pour one drink.
I don't think you can. not with a nice Glenfiddich. They're just so smooth.
Okay. Nice.
So what's the one if you hit the buck?
Hit the buck, a nice celebratory bottle of gin or a scotch or whatever.
A bottle. A whole
Yeah,
bottle.
a whole bottle. Yeah, well, you don't have to go out the next
Wow.
day. You've
Well,
done.
I mean,
Trip's done.
Trip's done. Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. Job's done. Time to celebrate.
Yeah. Yeah, like gin and just gin?
Gin
Just
and
straight?
tonics, yeah.
Gin and tonics?
Two
Gin and
gins?
tonics, yeah. 2 gins.
Or gin, did you mean gin and whiskey together? Is that what you're
No, I
implying?
don't
What?
think so. No.
No.
If you do, I've got
No,
some
gin
more follow-up
or
questions.
Gin
or whiskey.
or whiskey.
Or whiskey. Yeah.
And which whiskey we going for a big, I'm talking big buck, biggest of your life.
Oh, biggest of
Like
life.
you're probably not going to beat this for another 10, 20 years.
Is someone paying for the bottle?
You just walk into the bar and
Is
it's
this-
there,
it's
right?
there?
It's just there, it exists.
Oh God. There's a small distillery around the
Oh,
corner
here
from
we
me.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do some really, really nice stuff, but it's about $700 a bottle.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know the one you mean.
Yeah.
That stuff's very good.
For gin or whiskey?
For whiskey.
For whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay. What are they called? Do you know their name?
That is
Big fan. Big fan.
Yeah, big fan. I get pizzas there all the time.
Okay.
I can't think of
The
their
pizza
name.
joint.
Yeah, the pizza joint.
Yeah, pizza whiskey.
Pizza whiskey. Yeah, that's the one. It's in Birdwood.
It's a good combination.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. A pizza shop does whiskey.
No, the whiskey shop does pizza.
No, I think I like my version.
So yeah, partially baked pizzas on the week. Yeah, partially baked. So you like buy them either frozen or half cooked, and then you take
I
them
thought
home.
they were just being slack asses.
No.
They're like, we're too busy on the whiskey, guys.
Yeah.
Just here you go.
You can
eat it
take
as
them
is.
home, and then you can cook them whenever you want them,
Yeah,
or you
right.
can freeze them, defrost them, and cook them again.
Okay,
really,
so it's
really
like
good.
pre-frozen pizzas.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
they're very good.
What about yours? You get back in, walk in. What are you picking up?
Yep.
Yeah, the traditional one for me has been American honey.
American honey.
American
Yeah.
honey, which is wild turkey, isn't it? It's wild turkey.
Wild turkey.
American honey.
Yep.
That's been because sweet. At the end of the day, it's like a dessert wine,
Yeah.
but spirits. And you sit down in front of the fire, and you don't want anything too cold. Like I want to do a CC dry because like you, and American honey you can have really cold if you want it. You can chuck it in the
Yeah.
freezer, or you can have it
Loaded up with ice.
normal temperature on ice.
Basically,
Yeah.
anything works with American honey.
Yeah, except with Coke. Have you ever had it with Coke?
No.
You keep it that way. someone. It was a trip sometime, and they're like, oh yeah. Rusty likes American honey. We'll get some of that. They got premixed bottles with Coke.
They do a premix.
We shot more of them than we did animals. It was horrible.
Good
Wow.
call.
Yes, there was a premix.
Yeah,
yes,
wow.
someone
No,
decided.
I wouldn't look at something that says honey and go, you know what that needs? Coke.
Yeah.
Very sweet
Yeah. Just
Yeah, no.
and
it's-
just
and they're just
syrupy.
yeah, they're not flavors that would mix.
No.
Not when it's so nice on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been out in the Flinders all day, you've seen this amazing scenery. Looking at it, you've hiked up to the top of some hill. Took a bit. And you've wandered along that and you've shot some goats and you've done all your things and you get back and you're like, yeah, just diabetes in a glass. Like it's just not how I want to reward myself with this.
It's balancing out the exercise he did.
Life's
Life's all about balance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, fair enough. Maybe you should start the day with one of those. Get all the energy pumped up, ready to roll. No.
No.
What gin? What gin is if gin's the option rather than whiskey? Have you got one chosen out?
My favourite at the moment is the 78 degrees Sunshine
I
State.
had some last
That's a
night.
good one.
Yeah, right.
Yes, it's my favourite gin at the moment. So much so I just bought 20 bottles of it.
20 bottles.
20
That'll do
bottles.
it.
Yes.
Right. What
I
are you going
don't-
to do next month?
I know where I'm coming to get some gin.
Yeah, I don't know.
Was there a deal on? Is that why you bought
There was
20?
a deal, but I also have a wedding coming up. So yes,
Okay. You think it's going to last that long until your
I'm
wedding?
a bit worried.
Or is that in the lead up to it?
But that's why I got 20.
Oh,
so
wait, now I understand.
We're 10 months away, so I've got 10
Two a
bottles for the
bottle.
month and then 10 for the wedding.
No, two a month between now and then.
One a fortnight.
Yeah.
I did.
You got this.
I got an invite for your wedding. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
no problem.
And you went with the Hunt is Over
Yes.
on it. That
Yep.
was,
The hunt is over. Yeah.
yeah.
Caitlin found that.
So that's all done.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the end of hunting. We've got 10 months to talk about it,
Yeah.
and then
and then
the
that's it.
podcast.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find
All
someone new.
over. Yep. Replace me.
Replace you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh will move this way and learn about gear, and we'll find someone else to sit on there.
We'll just turn into a comp shooting podcast again.
Well, I guess the idea of chatting like this really is just talking about hunting and
Yeah.
equipment and gear and related and all that sort of gear, but not any big agenda. Just to see where people are up to, and that sort of stuff. We're going to have some guests on board at some
Yeah,
point. People
hopefully.
join us, swap in and swap out.
When you get sick of me, just throw me out
So
the
next
door.
week
and
we'll
get
have some guests.
Counting down.
In fact, they should be here in about 3 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
So,
Excellent. That's good.
yeah, that's right. Well, Max, while you are still here,
Yes.
while you're still here,
While I'm still here, yeah. Before I get the boot.
Before you get the boot, for having your phone on. What's the most interesting hunting story of late that you've got for us?
Of
Or
late.
trip? Yeah, of late, being like the last 30 years.
Last 30 years. Oh, no. So I shot my first gun when I was 2.
You shot your first gun when you were 2.
Yeah, apparently, according to my parents.
Okay, tell
yeah.
us about that with your memory.
My memory, yeah, apparently, with my memory or with the memories that I've been told?
Yes.
Because my memory couldn't tell you about last week.
Yep. We
Yeah.
went go-karting last week. That's
We
not the
did.
story.
Yeah, it's not.
So you remember that bit?
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
It was within a
go-karting.
week.
Yeah, that was 2 days ago.
I've still got the sunburn. See, we're in the go-karts and you've got your knees up. We had a ginger rock up, and so he bought
sunscreen.
sunscreens. We all put sunscreen
I reckon that
on.
was ginger only sunscreen.
I reckon you might be right.
Yeah.
Did you get sunburn?
I just got bruised.
I ended up with like this little patch on my knee right there that was just bright red. Everything else, fine.
Because that was the only bit exposed to sun.
No, all my legs were exposed to sun. But
That's just the only sensitive bit.
just, yeah. I have no idea why, but it's all right. We don't need to talk about who won, but
I think I'll keep my bruising over sunburn.
yeah, and you
Yeah, sunburn's never fun. But
You sure we don't want to talk about who won?
no, I'm pretty sure we're
no.
good. No.
Maxwell and I find to not talk about who won.
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
will
well, let's
be-
talk about who came third, though.
let's talk about how much fun it was.
It was good fun.
It was very good
that
fun.
It was a good experience.
It's like we both had tyres that exploded.
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, that's
that
right.
was-
We've been distracted from the hunting story, but we'll get back to it. Don't
yeah,
worry.
we'll
get
do
back
that. No one cares about a baby
go-karts.
shooting a gun.
No,
Yeah, so I'm not sure when your blowout was, but luckily
Lap
mine.
two.
Lap 2? Jeez.
I'll tell you that one.
Mine was pretty late in the game, but luckily it was coming out of a slow corner and onto a straight, and not at the end of the fastest straight into the longest corner.
So mine was coming into the hairpin and it was just stomped on the brakes and went bang and then turned like this and went that way.
Oh, is that when you hit the dirt?
That's when I hit the dirt
Ah.
because the cart wanted me to go into the dirt.
I did see that. I was up around the next corner going the other way. I wasn't sure who it was, but
I've also have footage of Boxer that came along with us, and I went into the dirt, and then you can see him also go into the dirt because he was too busy going like this.
yeah.
I need to check my footage then because there's probably footage from me going like this, looking over.
I came through all this dust. I'm like, oh, well, someone's gone off. And then I went past Josh. I'm like, I don't normally go past Josh when I'm go-karting. This is, I like this bit.
It was good though. It was an upgrade on carts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you end up in the fastest cart.
I don't know if it was the fastest car.
Yeah,
it was
no,
just
it's
the
fastest
Yeah,
car.
it was the fastest
Yeah.
car. They said it was the fastest car.
Yeah.
Although, did anybody else have excursions off the track? Because the distance from the tarmac to the ground, basically everywhere, was sizable.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came around the second hairpin and I never knew how to get that hairpin right. No, I was all over the shop on that
Yeah.
thing. And one of them, I was like, I'll just go as fast as I can and just hold as tight as I can. And I went off and Plushy came straight through, the ginger came straight through behind me. He's like, oh, that was convenient. Otherwise I would have crashed.
Yes, Boxer tried to force me off the course at one point, I
That
believe.
sounds right.
I'm coming into a corner and then the next second I was just going, oh, what the hell? And then I slowed down a bit and he just plows on past me. I was like,
Yep.
how rude. They said no bumping.
Yeah, they said no bumping.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've come into the first hairpin and Schumacher here comes and just takes me out intentionally, completely around the corner. And I'm just like, man, I can't beat you in a race anyway. Why?
Why are you like this, Josh?
I just watched Senna and the Senna Prost and just went, if you no longer go for a gap, no longer racing driver.
There was no gap. There was no gap. Oh, that's right. It's like those people who are like, oh, it's a rabbit, and pull the gun up and ready, and bang, and they hit a rock.
Yeah.
It was just a rock.
Yeah, it was just a rock. Yeah. Shooting the same stump over and over again every time you get. Oh, there's one.
One trip I used to go out with a guy. I actually used to be on the other podcast I was on early days. A guy called Padco.
Yeah.
Greg, and he. We were out on one property up in the Riverland, and I reckon 6 times in the same night he got done. There's pre-thermals and stuff like that. He got done with a spotlight looking at the reflectors on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're on a big property, right? Real big properties, and you're not anywhere near the road for the majority of the night. You come around, there was just one road that was there, and just the reflector, the height of it, everything. He's like, oh, there's one. And we all line up, and then he's like, yep. Oh wait, no, never mind. And then six times in one night. Same reflector.
Yeah, same reflector. So there's a property I hunt on. It's quite large, 5,000 acres. So it's a bit to drive around. There's a walking trail that runs through it.
Yep.
And there's reflectors through that walking trail.
That's going to be great.
Yeah. So they've just put trees in as well with cages, and all the trees have been done by a nature place, and they're all tagged.
like a nature place.
Yeah, like the people who will come out and replant trees for you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they tag all the trees, so they've got all now little silver tags on them. So
perfect.
I've finally gotten used to where all the reflectors are on this place, and now I drive around and there's all these cages with these shiny little silver tags on them.
Sensational.
Yes, it's great.
That would make life easy.
Yeah, it's quite painful. It's extremely rocky as well, so it's hard to use thermal there during summer because of all the heat in the rocks.
The heat would just...
You just look around and it's just a sea of black. I'm a big black hot guy, or white hot if you... Yeah.
Black or white hot? What's your black
I prefer
hots?
black hot, but a lot of people use white hot.
Why do you prefer black hot?
I find it easy to pick things up, but a lot of people tell me it's easier with white hot, and I can't see anything in white hot. I cannot find it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Josh, have you got a preference?
I would have thought the white hot would have been a bit nicer, because if then
It's
everything
nicer
is
to
black,
look at,
your eye is not getting as copying as much light.
I just find that black hot is more precise with the image. I find white hot to be very blurred out.
I do get what you mean though, because I think from the limited time I've been out, when I came out with you, I think the black hot is the one that I do
prefer.
gel with the most. But then you get off looking through it,
is
and
rough
you
on your
kind of
eye.
just go, whoa.
Yeah, it's
I now
definitely
can't
rough
see
on your
for
eye.
a good couple minutes.
One thing I do probably a bit different to everyone else is I actually scan with my left eye. So if I come off and get on my gun, I got a fresh eye.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Any other
there's-
scanning tricks that you do?
Not that I can think of that would be abnormal. I think that's abnormal. Everyone might do it. I'm not sure.
I think it's abnormal. I haven't heard of people doing that with opposite eyes.
Yeah.
But you can see the logic behind it though. Like you've got your good eye is, acclimatized to the dark, and then as soon as you see something, you can come off and you're not having to let yourself adjust.
Yeah, exactly. Especially going from thermal to a night vision scope as well.
Okay,
Yeah, not thermal to thermal.
Yeah.
So.
Do you ever keep one eye through the night vision as you're finishing off that one and then start scanning with the other eye?
No.
That'd be impressive.
Yeah, that would be extremely impressive.
This one's panning while just
you
on.
started shooting when you were 2, mate. I thought you'd...
Yeah, there was a big
progressed.
hiatus in there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Between 2 and 3, you didn't really touch
It
it.
didn't really do much. Yeah.
We did years ago for a competition. We did a stage where it was in partnership. So you had 2 people, and we kept it blind, right? So it was a little semicircle of trees. So all the competitors were outside of that, and they would walk through as 2 of them and basically be given a starting point, which was a significant tree on this side, and significant tree on that side. And it was about 200 meters of just flat ground, and then probably another 150 meters of the ground going up, right? And they were told that somewhere between those 2 arcs, there was a goat type thing, a mock-up of a goat that had a target in it for the heart.
Yep.
Right? So it was basically like a carpety type thing wrapped around a sawhorse.
Yep.
Sort of a goat sort of
Just shape.
angled in a way where you couldn't see the head. intentionally, so you wouldn't shoot their head. Someone
Yeah.
tried to, and then the target was hanging inside, like under the sawhorse, so you'd shoot where you would shoot for a goat. But it was brown and sort of scuffed up a fair bit and designed to be hard to spot. And so you would have, two sort of points that you could start and stop at, and somewhere in between it was there.
Yeah.
And whoever saw it first, the other person had to shoot it. Right? So you both went in with guns and so that was the trick was you had to then communicate to the other person
where it was.
And there was a lot of like, over there, and you're like, there's a lot of things over there.
Just start descripting.
But what saw worked for people is the guys who knew how to, I don't know what the terminology is, but they would reverse scan. So normally most people would scan that area from left to right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you try and scan from right to left, it's actually a lot harder for your eye. Like if you look over there, I don't know if you've done this before, Max, when you look from the left-hand side of the wall to the right, it's really natural.
Yeah.
Try going the other way.
Yeah, it's not.
Your eye catches heaps more and stops a lot of the way.
Yeah, it does. That's quite interesting. I've never actually...
Never tried that?
Never tried that, no.
So obviously it works out in the field as well, but your natural instinct is to look left to right. It's probably different in Japan, I guess, because they read right to left in Japan.
Yeah, interesting. The
interesting,
psychology behind that would be
I
interesting.
wonder if that would be just the way that they've naturally gone.
Maybe I need to start reading that way. I might be able to read.
There you go. That could help.
That could help. Yeah.
Start reading Japanese instead.
Yeah,
see if
cool.
that helps.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Crack on.
Just next podcast I'll be speaking
Drinking
Japanese
sake and
drinking sake and
So the guys who knew about that technique would actually pick up on it pretty quickly.
Yep.
Because your eye stops so much more. And I've seen that help people. You put stuff out there, they can't see it, and you tell them to scan the other way, and it works. Yeah. I haven't tried it consciously through a thermal, actually. I don't know if because it's obviously an artificial picture, whether or not because you're just still looking at the same thing. I wonder. We should try that.
We should. That's very interesting. I wouldn't consciously do it, but a lot of my scanning, I will scan right to left and then left to right. Like I'll go through that way, and then I won't just revert back and do that way again. I'll go that way, and I'll go that way,
So
and
on a swivel.
I'll work my way down area.
Yeah. What I've seen a lot of people you do this and then come back.
Yeah.
But often you find that return is much more passive. Unless you stop to okay, I'm going to scan this.
Yeah.
A lot of people go left to right and then just come back.
Yeah.
Without, they'll be, I'm still looking. They don't try to look.
You're in the motions of coming back as opposed to dedicatedly doing
But anyway,
it.
we'll try it with thermals. We'll try it with thermals and talk about it another time. And
that's definitely interesting.
See whether or not. Yeah, and it's
someone should research like the psychology on it or something.
Not one of us, no.
And someone should though.
Someone should.
I'm not saying us.
Do you know
I'm
what,
saying
Maxwell?
someone should.
Someone probably has.
They probably have, yeah.
And we just don't read enough to understand.
Oh, I can't read. So.
I like ChatGPT.
Unless it's Japanese.
Yeah, unless it's Japanese. Yeah.
Josh, can we make sure we get some sake next time? In fact, can I change my answer? It was the first time you shot a gun, Josh?
I would have been 18. I was pretty late in life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was never around family that really had it. Or when I had family that had it, yeah, I was very, very, very young. And, yeah, and then sort of all the things came in '96, and most of my family just there was no need at that point in time to have anything. Right. So just a little 22, shooting some cans.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice.
how things have escalated.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Now it's a big 22 shooting some cans.
Now it is not big. It's just heavy. It's a heavy 22.
Heavy 22.
Heavy 22.
What about you?
5 or 6.
5 or 6?
Down 5 or 6. It was Country Victoria. Pretty sure it was Country Victoria. Maybe Riverland, one side of the border.
Yeah.
And it was 22. And I actually got down behind the gun, and I was about to take a shot, and Dad's like, "Nope, stop." Okay. And when I went and opened the bolt, went in front, and there was a piece of wire, fencing wire, because I laid down a bit lower than the other people that were shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was actually probably had that across the barrel. Fortunate enough, he picked up on it.
Yep.
Got that out of the way, and then away I went and had a crack and really enjoyed it.
Hit much?
I don't remember. Probably not. So it's probably not.
Probably not.
No, I don't even know what shoe cans or something.
Yeah,
You're probably at
yeah.
like 3 meters.
Yeah.
And so at that point, does it even matter? It's just the fun of
It's just
doing
pulling
it
the
for the
trigger.
first time.
Yeah, exactly right. And then, it was, hunting, first time hunting, I think, was up in Riverland.
Yeah.
Same property that Greg kept seeing the reflector on.
Oh, perfect.
Actually, but many years ago, I was up there with a mate, and I think we both shot our first rabbits and did the took the tail and took the foot and all that sort of stuff. And
Nice.
that was. I guess we would have been about 7 or 8 at that point. I reckon for actual hunting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, on the back of the ute, and then likewise there was a big hiatus. So I'd get out with Dad, from time to time there, and then you get into high school or something, and then just other things are distracting you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Life gets busy.
So from 2 to when was your?
From 2, probably till about 10.
Did you shoot a little bit when you were younger? Yeah.
Just with my cousins and stuff. Same thing in the Riverland.
Yep.
So my parents split, so I didn't have too much to do with my dad. And then so my cousins all had air rifles and stuff. So school holidays, they were all probably 8 years older than me. So whenever I was up there, they'd take me out with their air rifles and 22 and go out in the fruit orchard and chase birds and whatever else. So it was always good fun. And then sort of from then till my early mid-20s until I picked up again when I met Caitlin and started spotlighting with her old man.
Yeah, right. That's how it kicked back in.
Yeah, it's kicked back in for me. So
Brilliant, man.
yeah,
Nice.
yep.
How things have escalated.
Yeah, shot my first year under the spotlight and got hooked and then I met you and
that's another story. But we'll save that.
That's a whole other story.
There is a story there. But
There is a good story there.
Save that for another time, which might be an appropriate time to wrap things up. So, gentlemen, cheers, guys. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever it is that you are doing. And look, we'll be back again in a couple of weeks and chatting away and doing
Josh
this
will
sort of
have
thing.
some really cool stories about semi-autos and full auto, and we'll be sitting here just being jealous.
Yeah, I'll bring all the footage too, so we can just sit here and be like, look at all the stuff you missed.
Great, look forward to it. I've got to put a trail camera up.
Yes,
And then you've got to scan right to left.
I do. Scan
And
right
then
to
we'll
left.
need a
We've all
drink
got our
sake.
homework.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's what we'll do, and we'll reconvene here to discuss the results and to just, I don't know, that sounds way too formal.
Drink some sake.
Just
Drink some
for
sake.
drinks.
Sake.
We'll meet back here for drinks.
Sounds good. These are empty. Let's go fill them up.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks.